Hey guys, welcome back. This week I'm in the middle of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. As such, it seemed like a good time to put out a fun, light video. I'm following up on the previous 7 Awesome Scenes video and created even more from Tears of the Kingdom. So kick back and relax while I help you relive some of the best moments of the game. Starting things off is the Gohma Dome. The final battle in the Fire Temple is pretty cool, though I think Gohma in this game is an underwhelming boss. While I do like Yunobo, he's my least favorite of the sages. This close-up shot is pretty epic though. I tried to get the sword as close as possible without clipping into the eye for this one. I just had to include being surrounded by these rocks. It's pretty memorable. To get out of it, I usually fuse one to a spare weapon. Because of the shape of the room, shooting Yunobo along the walls really reminds me of Sonic or maybe Pinball. I really like how he looks when he's on fire like this. Did you know that you can ascend through Gohma's body? You can really see how Link's arm glows when using this skill. I just had to finish it off with this fusion. Be careful, that bomb will explode after a few seconds. I really like how Yunobo's handshake is a fist bump, though that might be to avoid crushing Link's hand. Moving along, I wanted to get some great footage of Gleeok. The wind effect when riding your horse is interesting. This was mid-gallop. The one on Highly Abridged seemed like a good one for this epic showdown. Getting into position for the assault, we can again see Link's green hand. I ended up using Key's eyes for this because I didn't want to screw up the footage. I'm happy to report I got it all in one try. Man, Gleeok looks awesome. They really outdid themselves with this design. Spin the wind, baby. Catch 2 heads at once for more damage. Here's a nice overhead swing showing off the sword. It's a Royal Claymore plus Nature's Horn, what the game calls a Natura Blade. I love this scene with the fireball. Not so much for the projectile itself, but for the geoglyph in the background. This fireball, on the other hand, is awesome. Each Gleeok does a different final desperation attack when low on health, and this one makes a huge fireball. And that's the final shot. I got the timing just right. A frame or two later and the ice effect would have been gone. Alright, let's go check over at the desert. Riju is trying to solve the mystery of the sands. These light pillars in the desert are pretty cool. Normally you can't see them all that well because of the sandstorm. In this case though, we can see them clearly and with more detail. I wanted to capture this triangle effect at a different angle. Looks nice. Here we can see evil Princess Zelda at a device in the center. I wanted to get a good painting view of her there. Now with the pyramid risen, let's get a good look at that Gibdo hive. The pyramid itself is based on Mayan and Aztec design. At least, I think it is. I'm not an expert there. I like how you fight the Gibdo Queen twice. It's better than just palette swapping some Gibdos and calling it a day. Richu's ability shines during this section of the game, but sadly it isn't very useful beyond this. I miss Urbosa's Fury. Before we continue, are you enjoying the show? A like and subscribe would be awesome if you are. If you can do a little more, consider becoming a channel member or joining my Patreon. Seriously, I need the support lately. Anyhow, back to the show. Alright, let's head in and see what's going on. I love this place, but it isn't quite classic dungeon enough for me. It comes close though. Here Link and Riju are messing around with the central unit. I wanted a really good view of the dragon ring and the symbol that appears on it. In the boss room, we can see the Gibdo Queen and her brood waiting. I love the different colors of her antennas. Richu's ability really lights up the place. Another epic shot of Link's sword to a monster's face. The Black Lizalpa's horn looks really cool as a sword. And Richu's prize, a secret stone. With the regional phenomenon done, things get serious at Lookout Landing. Princess Zelda lures Link to the castle and tries to kill him with monsters. In the inner sanctum, Ganondorf reveals that Zelda was his puppet all along. This room is how the sanctum looked in the past, so I wanted to get some good footage of it along with the fight. Making you fight 5 phantoms at once is pretty challenging. Can you imagine if they unleashed 25 Gloom Hands instead though? Here is a good close-up of the Gloom Sword and the text on it. This text is on all the Gloom weapons and translates to Kotake Kome. I wonder what role they served in this continuity. Here's a pretty epic shot of Link cleanly cutting through its ribcage. and this shot shows off the Gloom Spear nicely. I wish this game had more scenes like this, I really do. The quest to get Minoru is neat, but I wanted to focus on the later part of it. Her mask is beautiful, and I love the look of this room with the falling leaves. This charging effect reminds me of the small guardian robots in Breath of the Wild. The Construct Factory has a lot of deep implications, but as usual, not a lot of explanation. I really do think these types of constructs were meant to house Zonai souls. I dislike how simplistic the Spirit Temple is. I think it should have been directly connected to the Construct Factory. The seized construct has some implications, and calls back to how Malice was dominating Guardians. I really do like how this is basically a cage match. It even has electrified barbed wire. The force field wall reminds me of the Sheikah walls around the monks. Perhaps that was another thing they copied from the Zonai. You can see the damage the Gloom has done to the construct's pieces. If this creature has a soul trapped in it, I feel sorry for it. And for the last one, I wanted to showcase the Master Sword scene. Sunsets in the Akala region are gorgeous, don't you think? The determination on Link's face really shows. That golden light is stunning. Sadly, the light trail doesn't show during this scene. When you start to actually pull it, the dragon starts to ascend into the sky. She actually goes to the highest levels on the map. Here's a nice zoom out showing her majestic glory. Up here, the clouds cover the entire map. Everything is bathed in gold, and you can't see the ground. If there is a cloud barrier in this continuity, I think this would be it. There is also a sunlight effect raining down over Link. This is easily the most epic Master Sword pull in the series. Now with the Master Sword, all that's left is to take down Ganondorf. I'll be saving that for the next one of these videos though. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that footage. I want to take a brief moment to say that I know about the Nintendo emulation news from last week. It's not something I want to talk about, so please, no comments on that. Anything else though, I'd be happy to respond to down below. I really need to thank my channel supporters. Things are not good for me right now, and I honestly need more support. Liking and subscribing to the channel is always helpful, but direct contributions are needed right now. So please, consider joining up if you can. If you do, you'll gain access to my Discord where we can talk more directly about things. You'll also get a shout out for joining. and some behind the scenes footage of my videos. For those of you who have joined, thank you again from the bottom of my heart. That's all I got for you today. Be safe and may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.